So I wanted to talk about this today because I think it's a very important message that, moving forward, whether or not you like foldable phones, you don't like foldable phones, you're a fan of picking them up, you're a fan of just, the technology in general. I think it's a very important thing to talk about, right? Is the fact that moving forward, I don't see why anyone should pre-order a foldable phone. Whether it's a Google Pixel Fold 2, a Z Fold 6, and this is myself included because I do pre-order the phones. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's really almost to a point where, and I don't want to use this term lightly, it's kind of a scam. Because while yes, they might offer you different bonuses like double the storage, usually, which is only $100 bonus if we really think about it, or they might give you a free item. I know Google gave you I believe they gave you the watch with the Google Pixel Fold, and then they also threw in earbuds. Or they might have did discounts. Samsung usually throws in something like maybe a double storage option. I think this year was just double storage option for the Z Fold 5. It wasn't anything special. But in reality, even a couple months, or maybe 2 or 3 months after they come out, these phones are so freaking discounted. I mean, we got on Microsoft for the longest time for how much they were just cutting prices the second the Surface Duo 1 came out because it was a flop and they couldn't get the phone out correctly. But because of all these, all this competition, it's always right around the holidays when these phones come out, they are just almost to a point now where there is no reason, and I mean no reason, to pre-order a phone anymore. If you wait even 1 or 2 months after the phone is out, not only are you going to avoid all the initial problems, for example, maybe there's some defective units or there's something wrong with the phones at the very beginning of the life cycle, you're going to avoid all those problems because you're waiting for a phone. Number 2, you're going to wait for all the software updates that come because of the initial problems and issues. You're skipping past all the headaches, and you're going to save anywhere from $300 to $400, maybe up to $1,000 off, depending on the foldable product. And even then, you could also, if you really want to, buy it secondhand from eBay or Mercari or Facebook Marketplace and get it even cheaper than that. And then once they go on sale everywhere, for example, right now Amazon is selling their phone $1,449 for the Google Pixel Fold, you can get that even cheaper after a couple months of waiting. And because it's selling for that on Amazon, secondhand websites have to sell for less money. As a consumer moving forward, and I know this is the one thing that Samsung and all these big companies do not want ever to happen, is for people not to pre-order. The reason why pre-ordering is so important to companies is because they can show them as not guaranteed sales, but pretty much as close to guaranteed sales as possible to their stockholders so they invest more money in their company. That's the whole point. If I go to my stockholders and say, hey, listen, I want you to invest money into us and we're going to use that money to make more money, well, right here, we have 6 million units pre-ordered of our brand new phone. And if you give us money, we're going to make your money back, right? That's why pre-orders are so important. But I really starting to think as a consumer here, with all these discounts that happen, and this is not across flagship phones, regular flagship phones, like the, the Galaxy S23 Ultra, those phones, iPhone 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, I know it's Apple, but main flagship phones, they don't discount like this. They don't. The candy bar cell phones are very much always going to say right around the same price tag, even during, holidays. Maybe they might go down a tad bit because of the fact that, it might be a service promotion, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, whatever. But for the most part, they stay pretty much up there when it comes to price. I'm just saying, moving forward, I just don't see the reason for foldable cell phones. If you want to pick one up, I'd wait. I'd honestly wait. You're saving the time and headache when it comes to the problems with the software The problems with the device might have some faults, and maybe, that service or Samsung or Google or whoever has to send out new units or create a whole entire new line of units for that said product. And the good thing about foldable cell phones is they're still kind of more or less a niche product to a certain degree, where they're not really scalpers products. I mean, yes, scalpers do like to go ahead and dig into anything they can, but because the general public hasn't yet adopted, I feel like, foldable cell phones as much, scalpers are kind of still like, I don't know if I want to go ahead and stink my, vicious claws into this item. But it's just, I know right now Google is still selling their phone for $1,800, but I mean, look at this. Like, it's cheaper everywhere else. And this goes for every single foldable cell phone. I know during Christmas, the Galaxy Z Fold 5, that's all a price tag of all the way down to $1,300. Which, it's not like these phones came out a year ago. These phones came out maybe 5-6 months ago. So if you can wait 5 or 6 months, yeah, you're probably best bet here. Now, of course, if you're like me and you love these phones, you want to get them as soon as possible, then yeah, that might not be your best bet. But if you want to save some money, especially if you're like, hey, listen, I don't have the money to spend $1,800 on a cell phone, you wait a couple months. It's not even like 5 or 6 months. Like right now, 5 or 6 months, these are price tags. But these price tags were popping up back in October. Back in October, November time, these were popping up. And that's what, 2-3 months into the life cycle? Even back in August, I feel like, not August, but September, there was some, discount $100 off here and there. So, yes, I'm talking about it now that we're in, the end of December, but this is 6 months in the future. This was starting 2-3 months in the future. And as I said before, I know it wasn't as bad as Microsoft, because Microsoft cut it down to $600 for the Surface Duo 1. But yeah, no, it's almost as bad. It's not as 100% as bad because it's not that cheap, but it's to a point now where it's like, as a consumer, why would I give you my money at $1,800 when you're just going to cut down the price tag in a couple months? I'm just now spending, you're literally as a consumer here spending $300 extra to get the phone 2 months early. Maybe that's worth it to you. Maybe you're like, hey, listen, that's exactly what I want. Me personally, if I wasn't doing YouTube and I was just a regular person, 9-to-5 job, working, and, making, buying these phones, I would probably personally say, I'm going to wait a couple months and get it for $400 less. Because they don't even offer you that good of a pre-order bonus. It used to really make up for it was the pre-order bonus. Nowadays, the pre-order bonus, maybe you get double the storage, maybe you get a case, you get a watch, potentially, you get some earbuds that cost $100. It just doesn't seem worth it in the end of the day. Because you can buy all those things after the fact and get it for cheaper than you initially spent. Just my cup of tea. See you guys next one. Peace out.